This is Diane with Bolan-Beaty Boogie, and this week on the show, Marc wanted to talk about words and the energy behind words, where that energy might come from, and why it's so important that we think about that when we communicate with each other. And he does have a guest on the show, and it's one of those subjects that maybe not a lot of people think about, how we communicate, whether or not it's from the heart, compassionate. Is there something drawing us to say what we're saying? Are we trying to get something out of it? So it can be a very in-depth subject. And I know I probably don't spend as much time thinking about this as I should. But Marc talks about it and how important it is, especially, he says, when there's conflicts happening. And there's a fair amount happening right now on the planet. Not that there hasn't always been, but ways that we could think about this and it might help raise the frequency of the planet. So he'll get more involved in the subject with you. I hope you enjoy the show. Again, we have a website, www.channelingmarc.com. Take a look when you get a chance. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm here. I made it. I'm on Earth. Well, yeah, kind of. Hello, everyone. This is Marc. You may know me as Marc Bolan from the rock band T-Rex, now channeling on Earth via Diane's body. Okay, and I do have some friends here with me in spirit and in other places as well. Okay, hello. Okay, so the topic for the show today, I hope is interesting to all of you. So it's the power or the energy around words. We're going to talk about that a little bit, and then we're also going to talk about specifically perception and reality. Okay. Yeah. What? Hold on. Maybe they're asking if I'm going to bring any guests in. And there's a possibility. Yeah, a big possibility. Okay, yeah. So let's look at the power or the energy around words first, okay? Now, yeah, if you think about it, okay, when you're in spirit, okay, you don't really need words, okay? You don't need words because you're, you communicate via telepathy, okay? The majority of the time, okay, whoever you are. And that telepathic communication is more, it's more emotional. It involves emotions versus words, okay? So if you think about it, if somebody's reading your emotions, if they have the ability to do that, or your thoughts, okay, it's your thoughts, but thoughts can be emotional, okay, then it's going to be hard to hide the energy behind it. Let's say you don't want to be honest with somebody. If you're on the earth, you can just say something. I mean, somebody may be able to read your energy anyway and think that, I don't know if they're telling the truth, but you're not going to know 100%, right? Now, when you're in spirit, energy changes, just as it does somebody's vibe on earth. If you're talking to somebody and it doesn't feel quite right, you're probably, if you're sensitive, even not, you might be able to pick that up, okay? Now, when you're in spirit, there's much more transparency. So it's going to be very difficult to, fudge, is that it? Fudge? What you're really thinking or feeling, okay? And this is a good thing. This is a good thing because when you're in spirit, I mean, of course, I'm not saying that no deception happens in spirit or on the astral. Of course it does. But in general, you're in a place, you're at a higher frequency, generally. Yeah. And of course. Well, it all depends on where you are. But yeah, I mean, you want to have an open communication. It's not like everyone knows everything about you. You can open up. Or you can shut it down. It's not like everyone can read everything that you're thinking or doing or see everything that you're doing. You do still have your privacy, right? Yep. But if you do open up to somebody it's going to be, yeah, if you think about it, yeah, your friends and you do have a soul family, okay? Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you want to? Why wouldn't you want to be open? But everyone will, yeah, what? Is there judgment? Now, of course yeah, there are forms of judgment in spirit as well. But let's just look at it this way, okay? So I'm in spirit. Somebody comes up to me and says, hey, Mark, what do you feel about this? How do you feel about this? What do you think about this? And I can open up and say, okay, well, I think this, okay? Now, if I'm not going to lie. Why would I lie? Why would I lie? If I don't like something, or if I'm not in the vibe of something, then I'm gonna say it, okay? Yeah, so why is it that so many maybe untruths or not exactly the truths happen a lot on Earth? Why do humans do that? Well, it's usually because they feel they're going to be judged. Usually, they feel they're going to be judged, or something is going to be taken away from them, or something bad, they feel bad is going to happen, or they're going to lose something, okay? Usually. So it's not necessarily a high frequency energy to lie, or to not tell the truth about something, right? Yep. And you can tell. Usually you can tell, okay? But that's their choice, okay? That's their choice. They have the choice to do whatever they want to do. You can't control that. So you just have to go on with it and say, okay, well, this is what this person's told me, and I can believe it or not. But yeah, you can. If it's somebody you know really, really well, usually it's going to be hard for them to do that. But it does happen, okay? So yes. So I'm going to talk a little bit about just the power of words, or the energy surrounding words, okay? So in spirit, you don't really need words very much. You can communicate, and it all depends. It all depends on who you are. You can communicate via some type of language. There's a lot of different languages in spirit and throughout the universe that, of course, humans are not aware of. And then think of all the languages on the planet Earth. So it's very similar when you get out into the universe and back into spirit, right? So you choose how you want to. Now, when you go back in spirit, everyone's going to have the capacity to probably understand a lot more than they would on Earth, right? Maybe somebody on Earth speaks a couple of different languages, but you also, yes, I want to bring that up. You also have, you're a very sensitive being. So, like I'm saying, you can hear words, you can understand the meaning behind the words, but do you really? And then the vibration of the person who is saying the words, and what the word, So when somebody's saying a word or a sentence to you, or how they feel about something, there's energy involved in that. And you can perceive it however you want. So when you're in spirit, things are a lot more open. Now, so humans, there's usually some reason. There's usually some reason that somebody's not going to tell you the truth, right? What is it getting? Well, I can't. No, that's too specific. If it's getting, worse on the planet or not. The frequency of the planet, believe it or not, it is rising. Okay, it is rising, and that's why there's so much controversy, as the Americans would say. On the planet right now, because there's so many different energies kind of coming into conflict with each other, okay? So there's a lot of that going on, and you're living that, so you know that well. But let's look at just a couple of different words, okay? Let's look at perception. Okay, now that's a word, right? That's a word. But and let's look at reality, okay? Now perception, okay, what is that? Okay, everyone has their own perception of life, of the planet, of their own specific life, of everything around them, right? That's their perception, okay? So that's their viewpoint. That's going to be different for everybody, right? Because everyone is different. And then there's reality. Okay, so what's similar about these? What's different? Okay, reality, is that different? Everyone's got their own reality. So is that the same thing? It can be. Okay, it can be. But then there's also other facets of reality. Let's say, okay, reality on the planet Earth is that there's a country called America. Okay, so that's a reality for everybody, right? That's a reality for everybody. But then reality can also be very, can get vague, right? Depending on who you are and what your beliefs are, right? Some people may feel that their reality is that, let's see, certain religions on the planet are yeah, are the most important, or the best, or a certain religion. Yep. And that's their reality. And and so that's going to be also a very strong belief, and they may not waver from that belief, right. But somebody else's reality may feel that no religion on the planet Earth is worth anything, right. So it's very interesting. Okay, yeah, hold on. Yeah, do we have somebody coming in? Yeah, okay. Yeah, we have a professor coming in. Okay, come in. Yep. Here you are. Yeah, hold on. Ooh. Yeah. Very exciting. Fireworks, yeah, fireworks. Thank you. Come in. Very grand entrance. Thank you. Yeah, I like fireworks. Yep. Okay, yeah, so you are a professor of what? Energy, language, what? Not, okay. Energy. Okay. So you have, a profound sense of reading energy, looking at energy. Can I ask your name? Quinley? Professor Quinley. You are male? Yes, you are looking male? Are you male? Yep. Oh, yeah. Yep. You're looking male. Okay. And yeah, you're wanting to talk about where you reside. It's a quadrant 4. Okay, quadrant 4. That's important. Okay. So he wants everyone to know that for some reason. Okay. Yeah. So Professor, thanks for coming on the show. Now, how important? Now, are you specific? Okay. So he's saying, no, he's not really his not necessarily Earth in general, but just the idea of energy as a whole, okay, and the vibration that energies have. Okay, so let's look into this. Now let's say, and let's specifically look into words, okay? Let's just do English, since that's what this body is most familiar with, okay? So if somebody, yeah, and it's very interesting to me how certain words and connotations that go with words have different energies. Okay, so let's say somebody says, I love you. Okay, now that's going to come with a certain frequency. Yeah, a genuine I love you. Okay, let's just say that. That's going to come with a certain type of vibrate or a certain feeling of emotion behind it. So if somebody says that to you and you really get a sense that they mean it, that's going to be so much different than if somebody says, I don't like you at all. Yeah, I don't like you at all. Yeah. So these are obviously extreme situations. But what? Yeah. I'm getting there. Okay. Let's just do like a single word. Okay, let's do no, let's not do that. Yeah, can you think? Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's just do that. Religion. Okay, religion. Okay, that's a good word. Okay, so that's going to mean something different to everybody. Okay, so somebody may have a bad experience with religion. So if you say religion to them, they are going to probably close down a little bit, or they are going to feel, they're going to feel some type of, maybe it's going to go back into their lives when they had an experience with religion, maybe growing up, or something happened to them when they were involved in some type of religion, and it might have a more negative connotation to them, right? Somebody else may have a wonderful experience with it. It's a support system for them. So if you say that to somebody, that energy is going to be different depending on what their personal relationship to that word is. Okay, now how does this happen? How does this happen where specific words or get those type of things? Okay, so he's saying obviously this is the idea of perception and everyone's own personal belief. And yeah, so the word itself means nothing unless somebody has a perception behind it, a personal perception behind it that is going to resonate with them, right? Right. And that's going to bring up some emotions possibly. So it's all a personal experience, right? Right. Let's say something more like flower, okay? Yeah. If you say or if somebody thinks of flower, okay, what's going to happen? Then it's going to be obviously less personal, probably. It's going to be less, their energy isn't maybe going to expand or contract as much, because usually a flower is not going to emote any personal drama or personal feelings unless you're very, 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 very fond of flowers. It could make you smile. It could make you indifferent. Yep. So it is, so think about it. Think about what words maybe trigger you. Why do they trigger you? Okay. What meanings do particular words? Pay attention to that. Pay attention to that. If somebody says something to you, or a specific word, if you start shrinking or doing, or why do you feel uncomfortable when somebody says something like that? Look back, what? Because that's it. That's it exactly. If you have an uncomfortable reaction to a phrase or somebody saying something to you, it could be something that you could, I'm not saying correct, but if it's something that you want to look at, okay? And we promote that a lot on the show. It's, you are creating this version of yourself, okay? So you can create whatever you want. So if there's things that are happening to you, if there's if there's experiences that are happening to you that are not pleasant, then it's, you can change that, okay? Only you can change that. And it would be, well, it is. It's, no, it's not necessarily a job, but it is something that you can do, okay? Something you can do. Hold on. The professor's saying something. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, so he's saying, and it's interesting how throughout history, words have changed their meanings, okay? And then you're saying what? Yeah, and in different times in history, if you said a certain phrase, it would mean one thing. And now if you say it, it might mean something. Yeah, so it depends on the civilization and how things have expanded. Yeah. And how things are freer sometimes. Okay, yep. Okay, what? Okay, Anything else, Professor? Yeah, he wants to talk about what? Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, and he's talking about creative aspects of life, of physical life on Earth. And let's look at music a little bit. That's a great thing. That's a great suggestion. Okay, so what if you say punk rock, okay, or punk music, okay? Now, I knew what that was very well as Marc, okay? And that, if somebody said that to me, it brought up a lot of people I knew, that's for sure, but it brought up, heightened energy, rebellion. You could go on. The list would go on and on and on. And then if somebody brought up classical music to me, snore. Yeah, that wasn't something that, I wasn't digging that vibe at all. I thought it was boring. Now I really appreciate it. But so it also reflects anything creative. If you say abstract art, and if you say Impressionism, it's all going to trigger something in your mind. Something in your mind. So the relationship between a word and emotion and your mind, it's all interrelated. And so, and you can change this. You can change this if something is giving you something that you, an emotional reaction that doesn't sit well with you, right? Right. Okay. Hold on just a second. Oh, okay. Yeah. Anything else, Professor? Yeah. Okay, so it's just a relation. It's just an observation that we're making here. That you can change parts or aspects of your life whereas other people may not have any inclination to do that. Okay? Yeah. Okay, Professor, are you taking off? Yep, 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 yep. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah. So why am I bringing this up? Okay, it may seem mundane to some, okay, but it's not. It's really important. It's really important because how you want to express yourself to others around you, okay, whether or not you're in spirit or if you're on earth, okay, it's really important. It's really important, okay, because relationships in both spirit and on earth can be built around words, okay, and words and the emotion and the energy that goes along with those words, okay. And yeah, it's prevalent in a lot of societies, a lot of civilizations where, okay, what would be the benefit? Yeah, I'm specifically thinking about America right now. There's a lot of things out, a lot of things that are going out to the public on media, social media, and things like that, that are not being perceived very well. And there's various reactions to that, okay? So why? Well, usually it's because somebody wants somebody to do what they want them to do, or it's a control issue, or it's some type of demeaning issue, or it's, yep. So it plays an important part, how you communicate with others, okay? And yeah, it's when I see energy like that, and I'm sure it happens to all of you as well, when this energy comes your way, it's deflating, it's uncomfortable, right? When you read words, because those words have emotions behind them, okay? So it's really important. It's up to you. It's up to you. But it's really, yeah. Some people may not think about this at all. Some people may not think about this at all. But it is an important thing to keep in your thoughts. Okay. Yeah. Especially now when there's a fair amount of conflict on the planet. How can your thoughts or words, okay, the words that lead to thoughts, how will they affect other people around you, what you're saying, okay? It's really important, okay? Because the frequency of the planet, it's important to the frequency of the planet, because words and the energy that goes along with them, and then the thoughts that are created by them, help make up the frequency of the planet and the human race, and everything, okay, that's all. Yeah, is that all we wanted to talk about today? Yep, okay, this is Marc then signing off, and I hope that we'll see you soon.